Since learning about how that phrase was being used to push back on that activism, I've stopped using it in that context.
Our country will never truly heal until we address the original sin of slavery.
Injustices that have been visited and continue to be visited on people, we will never get the change that we need to live up to the promise of this country.
Some people have said, all right, you have a diverse field, but it feels like the front runners are still old white men. You still have yourself, you have Joe Biden.
You're not talking about me, are you?
No, of course not.
That first clip was Mayor Pete talking about apologizing for saying all lives matter. But will this prevent the party from finding the best candidate? Here to debate, Jason Nichols, Democratic strategist, and Rob Smith, spokesperson for Turning Point USA. Jason, let me start with you. So is, apologizing for something like saying all lives matter or talking about reparations and making that a plank of your platform, is this winning for the Democrats?
Well, again, one of the things that Democrats need to do is pull out their base, pull out people who are interested in these issues. We know that in order to win, we need large African-American support. So, of course, people are going to talk about issues that speak to African-Americans, that speak to the debt that this country owes African-Americans, to the activism that needs to happen in order to make things more equitable. So I think it is a winning strategy. I think it's the right thing to do, to talk about injustices that are still visited upon people in this country.
So, Rob, Jason's going right at it. What do you think about reparations being a key issue to get the black vote out?
I think reparations being a key issue is just the way that they are trying to buy the black vote. Listen, when you look at all of these candidates, when you look at Beto O'Rourke apologizing for being white, literally in his first week of declaring, when you look at people saying Kamala Harris isn't black enough, when people are saying Pete Buttigieg literally isn't gay enough, and this is a real article that was written by Salon, you will see that the identity politics on the left have gone absolutely insane. And I really do think that is because they really do not have a really good issue to stand on. They're trying to buy black votes with the reparations talk, and I think it's absurd.
Jason, the sins of our past are well known. I mean, no one is arguing that slavery was ever a good thing. We've litigated that for years, trying to repair our country, bring us together, and stop the division. Is going back and demanding that people pay money for sins of forefathers, does that really move our country forward in any meaningful way?
I think it does. If you owe me $5, then you pay me my money, and then we can move forward.
But who owes you? So again, that's the larger question. Who owes you?
And let me get in on this a little bit.
Here's the thing, Pete. I think
there's
the problem
nobody that
is
owes
that
you or I
Rob,
anything.
excuse me.
Okay.
The thing is, again, you are looking at it as you and me. I'm talking about the United States of America and the atrocity that was visited upon people and continued to be visited upon them.
And that is absolutely a real thing.
Jason, you're
individuals.
individuals.
I'm not trying to deny that, Jason. The time for reparations was a really long time in the past. That 40 acres and a mule, I agree, should have happened. It didn't happen again. And my fear with the reparations talk is that it is empty talk. It is trying to buy the black vote. And what I also think that what will happen with that money, what will happen with that money, and this is what I fear, is that this money, this quote-unquote reparations, will get shifted off to all of these different organizations that have supposed to help black people for decades
you are talking about
that have
something
never
that hasn't
really
even been
helped
studied
us.
yet, Rob. You're sitting here talking about things that haven't even. We're talking about building a coalition to actually talk about whether this is feasible,
but how
it will be dispersed.
Let's pivot, Jason.
About where it's going to go.
We're not going to agree.
No idea.
We're not going to agree on reparations right now. But Jason, is it okay for your party to be represented by an old white man? I mean, that seems to be a bad label these days, Jason.
Of course it's okay. Of course it is. What people are saying is we can't continue to exclude. We as a country, the United States of America, is behind Pakistan. Pakistan has had a female leader, and the United States of America hasn't. We've all had 44 or 45 people who have all looked the exact same way in a diverse country. We're just saying let's open things up. And if it turns out that the person who is saying the best things that are going to move this country forward is an old white man, then so be it. But let's not exclude other people.
So we're not. So Rob, are we excluding anyone at this point?
Nobody is excluding anybody. What I think is happening. Excuse me.
Have they run anyone?
Let him finish.
What I think that is happening on the left is that you all are excluding people. You're excluding white people by virtue of their whiteness. You are saying that it is not okay for you to run for president of the Democratic Party because you're white.
How many white candidates are on the Democratic side? How many white candidates?
Tons. And how many of them have had to
Exactly.
apologize for being
Exactly.
white?
Just
So
like
who's being
Republicans have had,
Rob?
black candidates and all of that. Thank you for the
No
debate.
one's
We're not
being
going to solve it right
excluded,
here.
Rob. That's absurd.
Unfortunately not.
Jason, Rob, thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks,
Really
Rob.
appreciate it.